haven't done one of these in a while. Whew, it's hot in here. So if you watched my live stream that I did the other day, like 2 weeks ago, I was working on my model railroad here in my garage. I just spent like 2 hours cleaning up underneath and kind of trying to organize that pile of stuff over there a little bit. And then trying to fix this end. It still needs some work, but let's start at the north end of the layout and work our way down. So this is an update on that project because it's actually moving forward. So after much consideration, I decided to go with an HO scale layout. I don't have the track plan on hand to show you, but it's going to be a point-to-point with potential room for an expansion off of here and off of that end. So if I move, this layout can move with me. Now, I am keeping it semi-modular in that this whole area right here, and we'll explain why all this junk is piled up on it here in a minute. This area here is one section. This piece here is one section. And then this part here is a separate section. All of these can be taken apart and should fit in the back of my car. This one is probably the longest one, but can easily be taken apart and transported and potentially built into a new layout. Now, the reason why I have all this junk piled down right here is because I just finished gluing down the foam board here, and I want to make sure it's got some stuff with mass on it to hold it down, especially this piece right here, since this is a walkway and I'm afraid it will get bumped and knocked around a lot. But the tentative track plan is I'm going to have a small little 3-track, it's actually 2-track with a main line right here, yard. There will be a switch to a turntable right here. We'll go into more details with that in a future video. We're gonna come out, do a little zigzag kind of along here. And right about here, I'm gonna have like one switch to one industry right here. And then down here, you'll split into 2 tracks, which will come around the corner. And there'll be another switch. This switch will probably be right about here. And it'll end right about there. It might be a little more over that way, but I'm still gonna measure everything out exactly. But just enough room to put a locomotive right here, with potential expansion going off that way if I so choose to. I did have a really dumb idea of making like a folding section that would come out, but I still have to get that in and out of here. So there's that. And I'll have like 1 or 2 industries over here, and operations will be, you'll come down here, spot a car there, do a runaround move here, spot some cars here, pick some stuff up and head back. And enough for it to keep one person occupied and fun and for me, because that's all it's really going to be. There will be some eventual computer control. I'm going to be using every switch will be set up to use a tortoise switch machine. I'm going to get some switch machine controllers, some switches from NCE possibly, or some probably NCE switches because they're cheap and I know how to use them to run everything. So there will be some computer control of the layout, potentially allowing you guys, the viewers, to do some moves. Now, you're thinking, oh, we're going to run the train off the end of the track, or we'll run it right off of there. I'm going to actually put like a piece of plexiglass right here, so there'll be one there and one at that end that will be a physical barrier to prevent that from happening. And some of the switches will have lockouts on it, so you won't be able to go down industries or whatever. I'm having one problem with this section here, and you can see that this leg is a little jank because I actually ran out of wood and thought this one leg was going to be fine. It wasn't. And then I found these 2 spare pieces of 2x4 that I had floating around, but they're both too short. So that's why that one is stacked there and that one isn't attached to anything. For whatever reason, this whole piece is twisted like this. And you can even see, like, if I push this piece down here, you can see a little gap forms there. And it's like something here, everything is square, but also isn't. I think one of the boards is twisted. It's actually twisted like this. And so I might just get another 1x2 like these. And actually these are 1x3s. And redo this whole corner, like get 2 more of those and just redo this with all fresh pieces. Because like some of these pieces are recycled from the old layout, and some of these pieces, like I think this one back here is actually a new piece. But yeah, it's like, it's doing that. Like, I could glue the foam down like this and just shim it here and it would be fine. So maybe that's what I'll do. Because eventually I do want to put a piece of masonite, like a fascia around to kind of hide the seam. But yeah, I picked up some track. I've got some code 83, HO scale track. I have some snap track, but that's really, I just bought that because I was at the hobby shop and I bought a couple switches and the snap track just to like test fit everything in. I was like, yes, HO is this track plan is definitely what I want to go with. So then I went and bought flex track. I got a ton of right-handed switches. There's another one right here. Let's see how many right-handed switches do I have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 right-handed switches, and I think the track plan I have in Scram requires 6 right-handed switches and 5 lefts. I'm just gonna buy 5 more. No, these are left-handed. Dumb. These are left-handed, so I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lefts, 1 right. I think I need 1 more left and 5 more rights. It's very hot in here, so that is one of the problems I'm having is when it's like 110 degrees outside, even with the garage door closed and that door open and that fan on, like it's still roasting in here. So this is one of those projects that's gonna be like the fall and winter. It just was lucky enough that like today it was kind of rainy, and so I was able to, well, it wasn't raining, it was cloudy, so it wasn't horrible. But yeah, that's where we're at. Oh, one more thing. So cork. I am gonna put down road bed. I'm putting down road bed, but you notice I have, this is, can't tell, this is actually N scale cork. And if I put it down like this, let's say I got a short little piece right here. And if I don't butt them up together, leave a little bit of a gap. When I actually put the track down like this, I can actually vary I can kind of wiggle that in and out. So I can have it tight like that. And obviously I'll sand the edges so that it's, there's the beveled side down. There's the beveled side down. And put it like that. That actually works really well for making it look like it's an old branch line, because this is why I was based off of like a small little, branch line that gets 1 or 2 cars a week kind of deal. This idea of using the N scale cork with the code 83 track comes from my good buddy James, I build a couple layouts with him where he would use HO scale cork for his main lines, and like all the sidings and all of his industries, he used N scale cork. And it made a real difference in how the ballast like filtered through the ties and everything. But yeah, that's a little update. I just put the glue down on this part here, so that's still drying. I got to figure out some technical stuff for actually getting the stream up and running again, so I could actually stream working on this. But this is probably going to be one of those things that when I'm streaming it, it'll probably be in the fall and winter when it's not hot out in here, because like I'm not wearing a shirt right now. It was just so hot. But thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Link to my Twitch channel. I play video games on my Twitch channel, but sometimes I do this model railroad stuff. So yeah, thanks for watching. Thanks for sticking around. Catch you guys in the next one.